Hold up! Car prices are not the same across the globe, from Chevrolet and Maserati to Volkswagens and BMWs. Get ready to have your minds blown as we walk you through 8 cars that sell insanely well in different parts of the globe. Let's go! Number 8. Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. Car fanatics know the Wrangler Rubicon doesn't come cheap, especially when it comes to fuel economy. With an official rating of 23.7 miles per gallon and CO2 emissions of 269 grams per kilometer, you might want to brace yourself for some fuel bills. Regardless of the fuel, the price difference between different regions is off the chart. Let us enlighten you. So, in good old USA, you can get your hands on a Wrangler Rubicon for around $30,000. It all comes down to your preference, but the base price is not too shabby, huh? But to get your hands on this SUV in India, you'll need to dig a little deeper in your pockets. The price jump is to a whole new level, $75,000. If you are wondering why that is the case, then the answer is a combination of a variety of factors. Despite that, taxes play a huge role. Cars and two-wheelers in India lure a GST of 28%, which is almost twice the taxes levied in different countries. Number 7. Chevrolet Camaro. Chevy Camaro is a real beast on the road, all because it offers speed and power that can make anyone's heart race. With its range of engine options, including the mind-blowing V8s, it makes sure you are flying down the highway faster than a cheetah chasing its dinner. Plus, the Camaro is no slouch when it comes to modernity. Its intuitive infotainment system and cool interior design will have you feeling like you're driving a car from the future. That is quite literally the case for people living in Australia. You will not believe the price difference for the Camaro there. In the USA, you can snag one of these beasts for around $30,000. But down under, brace yourself because it's $120,000. What gives? Well, Holden Special Vehicles spilled the beans on this price difference. It all starts with the logistics of bringing those left-hand drive Camaros across the vast ocean to Australia. Shipping ain't cheap, and that's just the beginning. HSV has to deal with funding and finance charges, exchange rate losses, and import duties, among other things. Once the Camaro finally arrives at HSV's doorstep, it undergoes a magical transformation. 100 hours of hard work goes into tweaking and adjusting the Camaro to meet Australian standards. That means additional costs for tooling and development, manufacturing, and making changes to the interior and underbody. So, next time you find yourself dreaming about driving a Camaro in Australia, just remember, it comes at a price. A pretty hefty one, to be exact. Number 6. Maserati Gran Turismo. If you're lucky enough to roll in one of these, your motto in life should be, "Life's been good." Now, let's talk about the heart and soul of the Gran Turismo, the engine. The only engine option for this beauty is the legendary 4.7-liter V8, a true Ferrari-built masterpiece with a lineage that dates back to the 90s. This beast churns out 454 horsepower and 520 Newton-meters of torque, giving you enough oomph to go from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 4.8 seconds. Nevertheless, the price is also enough to give you an oomph. In the USA, you can grab a Gran Turismo for around $53,000. Fair price. But if you head over to Germany, it's a bit of a steal at $47,000. Yet in Singapore, things get a bit wild. The price there for this beauty is $100,900. It's all about the taxes and fees that come along for the ride in Singapore. First up, we have the additional registration fee. Every car that sets tires in Singapore has to face this tax during registration. And that's not all. The excise tax duty, which accounts for a hefty 20% of the open market value, is tacked on to the price. After adding the 20% excise duty to the open market value, they hit you with an additional 8% goods and services tax on the total. No wonder Singapore is one of the most expensive countries to buy a car in. Number 5. Volkswagen Golf 7. On the outside, Golf 7 is simple yet effective, like a unique blend of Golf 4 and Golf 6, as if they had a love child. But once you step inside, things get interesting. The console design seamlessly flows into the instrument cluster, with proper buttons surrounding a touchscreen multimedia setup. This baby comes packing with everything from petrol and diesel to a fancy plug-in hybrid engine. Power output from a modest 85 ponies to a whopping 150 for petrol and diesel both. And what about safety? It's got everything: lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, fatigue detection, and even brakes that know when to stop for you in the city. It's like having a little robot co-pilot. It's practical, functional, and a joy to operate. Speaking of practicality, you won't believe the price differences between these cars globally. In Singapore, you gotta brace yourself for a staggering $126,719.28. That's right, it's like winning the lottery just to own one. But if you head over to the good old United States, you can get yourself a Golf 7 for a cool $25,000. Number 4. BMW i8. Now, BMW decided to keep things simple and offered a single powertrain for the i8. It's a sleek plug-in hybrid with a turbocharged 1.5-liter engine, an electric motor, and a battery pack. It's like the Incredible Hulk of cars, boasting a whopping 369 horsepower and a 0 to 60 in just 4.2 seconds. Flat out, it'll hit 155 miles per hour, but if you're feeling eco-friendly, it'll give you 23 miles of clean, green, electric driving. Now, the i8's body is more ripped than a fitness model, thanks to its carbon fiber reinforced plastic. Not only does it look sharp, but it's lightweight and strong. But here's the kicker: it's not the least expensive car to drive. In the USA, you can get your hands on the i8 for a cool $70,000. But if we head over to India, well, hold on tight, because it's a whole different ballgame. The price there for this beauty is $383,000. Do you think the high prices of these cars are worth it? Let us know in the comments below. Number 3. Mitsubishi Outlander. Mitsubishi Outlander is a 3-row compact crossover SUV that's here to impress. It's got style, modern technology, and enough power to make your heart skip a beat. Now, we know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, is this just another SUV trying to meet the basic requirements of the segment? The Outlander does exactly that, and it does it well. Under the hood, you'll find a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine ready to roar and take you on some epic adventures. It's reliable, it's efficient, and it's got enough to get your heart racing. But the starting price of this car is also enough to do that, at least if you are in Colombia. In Colombia, you can get yourself an Outlander for around $32,319. That sounds decent, but if we head back to the USA, you can score an Outlander for a price of $27,595. Talk about a sweet deal. Number 2. Mazda 3. Now, unlike those SUVs and crossovers trying to be something they're not, the Mazda 3 proudly takes the title of a family hatch. No pretense here, but hey, that doesn't mean it's just a one-trick pony. Oh no, Mazda knows how to spice things up. You see, Mazda believes in the beauty of simplicity, and that's why they offer just 2 petrol engines for the Mazda 3. None of that turbo trend nonsense here. We have a 2-liter, 120-horsepower petrol engine, and to add to that, it can go from 0 to 62 miles per hour in a zippy 8.1 seconds. But let's take a pit stop to different parts of the world to see how the Mazda 3 sells elsewhere. So, in Canada, you can grab a Mazda 3 for a steal at just $15,987. Meanwhile, if we head down to Peru, the price there is enough to knock you off your socks. $26,490. If we compare that to the USA, you can get a Mazda 3 there for just around $22,550. Number 1. Honda Civic Hatchback 1.5 RS. We know when it comes to cars, the city means business. They have got you covered with durable black leatherette featuring some snazzy red contrast stitching on the steering wheel and armrests. Under the hood, the L-Series engine may be celebrating almost 20 years on the scene, but let us tell you, it's like fine wine. It gets better with age. This latest iteration pumps out a punchy 119 horsepower and 145 Newton meters of torque. And boy, does it have some pull. Thanks to Honda's magical dual-cam VTEC system, the engine breathes optimally throughout the entire rev range. Pretty impressive, right? Just like its sedan sibling. Nevertheless, the selling price of this Rev Ranger is also quite impressive. In the US, you can grab a Honda Civic for a sweet price of $25,850. But that's not so much the case in South Africa. To get your hands on a Civic in South Africa, you'd have to save for more than 8 times longer compared to the USA. The price there is a jaw-dropping $37,910. You know what they say, the more expensive the ride, the more sweeter it is. Astonished? If that's a yes, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more interesting content. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you never miss our future content. We will see you in the next video. Until then, take care.